Cybersecurity has been an ongoing game of cat and mouse for many years. The world was introduced initially to hackers through movies such as war games. Matthew Broderick brought us a picture of a hacker as just a kid playing video games. But as a result, hackers were then largely viewed as kids just goofing around and annoying people with viruses and spam. Then it became much more about getting control of your computer. Some of this was hackers trying to see what mischief they could cause on your computer, but mostly just for bragging rights. But over time, things evolved to include pop-up windows that would invite you to download free software that would bring additional code that would also install and give them access to your computer. Now on the internet, clicks translate into money, and the crime syndicate discovered there was money to be made, and we have moved from bragging rights to identity theft and stealing money. There are many different methods of attack, but most common method is through a virus, or what is now called generically as malware. Once a virus gets onto your computer, what can it do? Well, first, and usually unbeknownst to you, your computer becomes part of a bot network that participates in things such as denial of service attacks. What this means is the virus on your computer coordinates with a large network of other computers that are similarly infected to send simultaneous and repeated requests to a website or to a server that overwhelms it and causes it to either crash or deny access to legitimate users. Many of these attacks are the kinds that you see performed by the anonymous group. These types of attacks can be used for both extortion and also for political gain. Viruses can also open your email program and propagate itself by sending email with links or with the program attached to all of your friends and try to entice them to open and propagate the virus itself. Viruses also can provide a backdoor entry point for other viruses to get into your computer and can be used to drop your computer's defenses and allow other infections to occur, similar to as you see with HIV. Viruses can also directly harm you by collecting personal information by running programs called keyloggers that track all of the information and all of the activity on your computer and also whatever websites you're going to. In this manner, the attack is geared primarily towards collecting personal information and hopefully your banking information. Finally, although not typically considered a virus, there are if the attacker simply just wants your personal information. They can send you an email with a link to a website that appears to be legitimate, but is in fact a spoof site used to collect usernames and passwords or bank account information if possible. For anybody who regularly receives spam, you have probably seen this type of attack before. The vast majority of these attacks work because of social engineering. Social engineering is essentially getting someone to do something that may be contrary to their best interest and is to your benefit without them necessarily knowing that they are the target or being harmed. Marketing and advertising is largely the science of social engineering. In fact, you can consider practically all scams that you're exposed to that are both physical or electronic to involve some form of social engineering. Getting you to click on a link or download a program or file will always involve some element of social engineering. Social engineering involves a setup, usually a story that is geared towards invoking an emotional response. The emotional response is usually fear. Invoking this emotional response is important as emotions are the quickest way to bypass logic, and fear is the easiest emotion to evoke. The next step is to offer some form of resolution or solution to the problem evoking the emotion. Unbeknownst to the victim, the resolution is not really designed to help them. Social engineering occurs when the resolution helps the attacker get what they want, such as your money, your personal information, so they can take your money, or access to your computer so you can help them take money from other people. While there are a wide variety of different attacks used in computer crimes, there is usually some element of voluntary act on your part in order to allow the attack to occur. The attackers use social engineering to try to get you to commit that voluntary act. Do not forget that the people you're dealing with are no longer little kids playing on their computer, but now are part of a sophisticated network of organized crime.